Shall I start? Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Apala Singh from Shankaracharya Institute of Medical Sciences, Bhilai, and I'll be presenting a very big diagnostic dilemma today. That is a giant prolapsing fibroid polyp which mimics uterine inversion. And it's not very common, but we must know because we will be master of everything. So, in my case, cervical leiomyomas are not very common, but the polypoidal variant may present as a vaginal mass. In my case, it was a 49-year-old para 2 living to with all previous vaginal deliveries who was postmenopausal since 1.5 years. She presented to our OPD with a giant prolapsing mass since 15 days, which was associated with vaginal discharge and bleeding per vaginum. Now, on her per speculum examination, it revealed that there was a soft, smooth, pedunculated mass, approx 7 inches into 2.5 inches, prolapsing well beyond the vaginal introitus, arising from the posterior lip of cervix. It was strikingly similar to the inversion. So we went for pelvic USG that demonstrated a mass with internal vascularity and an intact uterine body, which is very important in this case. Well, to establish the diagnosis definitively, we went for examination under anesthesia, and that also confirmed a mass arising from the posterior cervical lip, excluding my uterine inversion. Her pap smear was normal with no malignancy, and later she went on for transvaginal surgical excision of the pedicle ligation at the posterior cervical lip, which was followed by vaginal hysterectomy. Well, this case is noteworthy because a giant prolapsing cervical fibroid can clearly mimic uterine inversion, but good clinical assessment can make it better. We can go for better diagnosis, better treatment. So, thank you.
Thank you, Apala.
Thank you.
Interesting case, but will you call it giant?
Ma'am, it was actually big.
Because
Appearance was actually giant.
you're too young now. This is not.
Yes, ma'am, just
This
to.
is,
Term was given by you or you got it from somewhere?
Sir, actually,
Any references of giant prolapse you have seen?
sir, the capacity of the structure that this can hold, it was big. So,
So you did the removal in the vaginally, then
vagina.
uh,
We first ligated the pedicle, removed the pedicle first. First, the excision was done,
uh,
and then we went for vaginal hysterectomy. Considering her parity and childbearing age was already gone, her family was complete, so it was most definitive treatment.
yes. You told that to differentiate it from inversion, you went for a USG.
Yes, ma'am.
But wasn't it very clear clinically? Because you can see the cervical opening.
Ye-
So,
yes, ma'am.
how
But
would you have differentiated it clinically?
we tried, but just to confirm the diagnosis, since we had time, she was not bleeding profusely. So we had time, so we went for
Of
it.
course, you have to see the adnexa and everything. That
Exactly,
I,
yes.
but
Also, in
how do you differentiate between inversion and such a mass clinically?
because ma'am, first when we did the bimanual examination, then I was not very sure about the uterus fundus. So it was a little skeptical. So we thought, why not go for it? So pelvic USG confirmed the
But
intact.
you could insinuate something through the cervical
Uh,
opening, I think,
yes, ma'am, but still just
because the cervix is visible.
abdominal USG.
sorry.
For a USG, abdominal USG or a transvaginal USG?
Pelvic USG. Transvaginal in this case was not really possible since again I said sir the giant mass was big, yes. So we went for pelvic USG, yes.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you,
thank you,
Apala.
ma'am.
You'll see bigger ones in your lifetime.
Hopefully, ma'am,
And
next
manage
case.
them well, I'm sure.
Sure, I will. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
So